Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Alex Srednoselac, and this is 10 things you might have not known about cashing out. Minor spoilers ahead?
You would have been expecting that.
I wanted to create a visually dynamic story, so I had to do a bit more than just with the dialogue and camera angles. A lot of what the characters are thinking, feeling, or things that are happening to them can be shown through their costuming. This is very prevalent with Alan and Jackie, who wear a lot of darker colors throughout the entire film. I also tried to do this with set dressing or placement of the characters, so if you watch closely, you might be able to find some story points laid out right in front of you. Being on such a tight schedule, we didn't always have time to shoot when we wanted, so a lot of the nighttime interior scenes had to be shot during the day. With a lot of locations, we were able to do this flawlessly because there was no windows, but for instance, in Rich and Alan's trailer, there was a lot of windows everywhere. To accomplish the nighttime look inside the trailer, we put painter's plastic over any of the windows that we were shooting against. Closing the blinds wasn't enough, so we had to do a lot more to block out all of that light. This was especially difficult for the scene where Jackie appears in the trailer for the first time because we had to use the front door. So we had to get a little bit more creative on how to block out that light. We didn't have access to a ton of locations, so a lot of the same locations had to be used multiple times. For instance, both of the main poker locations were actually taking place in the same house. One was shot in the basement of the house that we were using, while the other one was shot in the garage. We had to be very careful about how we did this, so to help sell the effect, we used different houses as the exteriors of the poker locations. Poker's a pretty niche hobby, and unfortunately the poker scene in Northwest Indiana where we shot this isn't really big. The only actors who knew how to play poker ahead of time were John Carver, the man that plays Tony, and Whitney Wickham that plays Kate. All the actors had to study ahead of time, or we did some training courses right before we'd shoot each scene. The actor that plays younger Alan is actually Whitney Wickham's son, Noah, who did a fantastic job in the movie. He picked up cards pretty fast and was very natural on set. Whitney and I had worked on a project together the summer before we shot Cashing Out. I knew that I really wanted to work with her again. I wrote the part of Kate around Whitney, but during pre-production, Whitney became pregnant with her third child. Both Whitney and I really wanted to do this together again, so I wrote the pregnancy into the script. Funny enough, we shot most of Whitney's scenes in chronological order, so her progression of the pregnancy matches up with the timeline of the film. In an earlier draft of the script, Whitney was actually a love interest in a triangle between her, Alan, and Jackie. Later I realized that that wasn't really a good idea, so I kind of changed her character to be more of the big sister type. Alan doesn't have any siblings or female friends outside of Jackie, so it was really important to me that he had that female relationship that wasn't a love interest. Cashing Out is actually based off a short script I wrote in college called Double Down. It was originally about blackjack tournaments instead of poker. One of the things that actually pushed me really hard to turn Cashing Out into a feature is that I was offered for the short to be made by somebody else. It really boosted my confidence that somebody else saw potential in this story, so from there I knew I had to make it. I had actually won an honorable mention award at the BEA Festival in 2014 in Las Vegas, and I actually got to pitch one of the earliest versions of the script to Hollywood agents and managers. I'm still not in Hollywood, so you can tell that didn't work out pretty well. However, if they did take it, it would not be what it is right now. In the short script, Tony was more of a villainous character than the mentor that he is in Cashing Out. Alan and Tony meet at a casino where Tony sees some potential in Alan and offers to back him. Backing is a poker term where you would monetarily sponsor a player for a percentage of their winnings when you see high potential in their playing. I took that element out of Cashing Out because I was really trying to get away from the loan shark-esque character that you would normally see in gambling movies. I'm not going to spoil the ending of the film, but in the original script, the final poker game ends in a shootout. It was a bloodbath that ended with deaths of several major characters. That ending probably would have been more exciting, but it just didn't feel right for this story. And that's it for today. Hopefully you found this video interesting or you learned a little something that you didn't know about the movie. Cashing Out is still in theaters all over the Midwest and Florida. If you want to check it out, you can go to the link in the description for all the cities and dates that we're still showing the movie. If you want to pick up some sweet cashing out merch like this, we still have a lot available at our store. Make sure you follow the Facebook and Instagram page at Cashing Out Film for news and updates regarding the movie. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you at the theater.